And we're back for another episode. In this episode I'm going to be doing the part 3 of the 2.3 story quest, which is doing Ramuh hard mode in the dungeon Striking Tree hard. I'm just waiting for one more to accept and we can go. Never done this before, never seen this before, so it'll be a new experience. I'm going in as a tank just for the sake of, shorter queues. That's a problem, I guess, because some people have been waiting as DPS for a while. Usually the hard modes of the dungeons are really, really easy, and then it's the extremes which are like the hard... what is hard mode? So as he said in the previous episode, that this is just a trial to test your strength. It's not about defeating Ramuh. Which is an interesting way of doing it, I guess. So here is Ramuh. Focus target him. Music, isn't it? Get my eyes peeled for any ads. Sure, he's got something up his sleeve. Or hidden in his beard. something will happen. Assuming in extreme mode that these probably have to die quicker or at the same time, or I don't know. Yeah. So because we didn't kill one of them, that was it. Oh well, as I say, if you fail, try again. Okay, let's do this. And one thing to notice is that I died, but my shield off is still up, which is a new feature in 2.3. Black Mage is doing nothing at all. Or is it Terra? when people get the lightning strike on them, they can get the people out of terrors. I guess that might be important during extreme. Obviously, yeah, like I said, the hard mode is really easy. I don't know why they call it hard mode. But I'm sure the extreme is really extreme. Okay, play accommodation, so let's carry on.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Cool, so that's done. So let's now go back to Little Solace. I wonder if it's probably actually quicker to teleport back. Because when I'm out of combat, I'll teleport. So much to do, so much to do. But that's how it always is on patch day. Okay, here's a Serpent Lieutenant. So, Lieutenant Mithrie, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramuh received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms. It is well then that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest's champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Lieutenant Mithrie. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. Okay. Next quest is called What Little Gods Are Made Of. The Serpent Lieutenant is ready to send you on your way. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experience firsthand. Please pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The Conjurer at Nafika's Olka will be expecting you. Fare you well, Lieutenant Mithrie. Okay, so let's return to Gridania, my home. I'm also part of the Twin Adder, which will have some effect when I get into the front lines. Oh, I got to use the Aphorite, silly me. Never mind. Yeah, so next time I should just use the Aphonet and go to the Conjurer Guild selection rather than running. And it would have brought me right here. So welcome back on in Sion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seedseer awaits you within. Okay. I won't run in here.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartanel, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth.
Well, you could have given me 1,000,000 gil to thank me, but whatever.
Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Okay, here's Papalimo. So he says, thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Mithrie? I'd hoped Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the primal sudden challenge. And it seems that Uriango too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Mithrie? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Okay, so let's go straight back to Revenant's Hole, because I go there so much, it's one of my favourite locations. Well, it's busy here. It's interesting that you don't see any other players running around here anymore. They've made it like it's only you in here for some reason. Unless it's a bug, I guess we'll find out. Or maybe just so there isn't like 10,000 people here when we come to talk to Mithrie. So, welcome back, Mithrie. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of my own, but Uriango's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Assign's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Okay.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Eorzea, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected. that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Eorzea and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
"'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated."
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us
Interesting
on to the
presentation.
third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits, should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a Crystal of Darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Hello. The Lord of Levin is returned to the Aether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramuh's acquaintance was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. Limitless potential of man, Hydaelyn's servant grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all but too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and yet even as it enervates, the Ador empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted to forge the final key. And that is a task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds were ever wont to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew. and the one true God shall come again. Interesting. Reminds me of the gates from Kingdom Hearts. Okay, let's see the next quest. So it's called A Hard Hapalit to Break. And you can get just different materia 4s. So Mithrie has some correspondence she wishes to share with you. So, now the matter of Ramuh has for the present been put to rest, there is something I would show you, Mithrie. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals, Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Mithrie, and Eorzea is that much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Scions may be riled upon to sow chaos in the realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Needless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over in our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, and think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the beastman who wish naught of conflict and who now call you friend. Of Elise who strives to unearth the terrible secrets of the calamity. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah racing to unlock the mysteries of the ancient Alag, that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. Of course, speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow Scions. Thanks to their many varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Scions, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, Antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alfinode, it takes the troubles of Ul'dah no longer require attention. There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and I speak to you with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from Ellie. You recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Alphanode, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Mithrie, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put affairs of the realm to one side for a moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, Southbourne but recently inquired as to your whereabouts. I believe he has a small matter he wishes to discuss with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? Cool. Let's see what Southbourne has to say. So, I see my fine adventurer friend has returned. The dust of the rose get clinging to her boots. Do the Scions have no work for you this day then? The antecedent sent you my way, did she? Well, it is not urgent, but I could certainly do with your help. You see, Revenant Tolls have become something of a favoured destination for adventurers. Part of that is due to the town's growing fame, but a goodly number of green heroes-to-be have come here to follow in your footsteps. And when I say green, I mean fresh out of the ground. I don't know one end of a sword from the other green. I've done my best to put them to work, but what they really need is a good talking to from someone they look up to. An adventurer who has done it all and more. Mithrie, that would be you. And naturally, the one lass who would most benefit from your wisdom is nowhere to be seen. She was off to slay Hapalit and was due back some time ago. Likely got herself over her head as usual. Now that I think of it, this may be the perfect opportunity for you to treat her to a demonstration of your skills. I consider it a personal favour if you would head out to the Singing Shards and show the amateur how it's done. Okay, so let's see where we're going. Have to go all the way up here, so let's go. So I think once I finish the story mode, I will go about unlocking all the new dungeons, including Stone Vigil hard mode, the new dungeon, Hullbreaker Isle, Tamtara hard mode, and also the second crystal tower called Cyrus Tower. And then we'll make different episodes covering each one, just to show what they're like going through the first time. And then, well, I'll just keep seeing what else is in 2.3. There's so much to do. And then I want to see the hunts, I want to see battlefields, so it's been a very entertaining day so far, that's for sure. One thing they did as well is they added a sixth ward to all of the housing areas of the 3 towns, which means that there's now, like, I guess 20 new plots of land to buy on every server. Well, even more, actually, it's way more than that. So, okay, so where are we? What are we killing here? Ah, there they are. See, the one that's red is yours. The ones that are pink are other people's. Poor adventurer. So, damn, near pissed myself back there. I was hoping to find myself a little one, but face went and threw the meanest bugger in all of Modona at me. Typical. Hold up, you're Mithrie Menethil, ain't you? The Mithrie Menethil 7 Hells. You're flippin' famous. And you're twice as tough as they said you were. Bugger me, I can't believe I'm talking to the woman herself. Oh, I know you've gone and seen me at me worst. 'Twas me bleeding pet's fault, I tell you. doesn't listen to a damn thing I say. That and the fact that none of me so-called mates offered to help me. When I told them I was off to gut some Hapalits, most of them gave me a confused huh or like I was talking out me arse. You don't agree though, right? Okay. So it says, show the struggling adventurer exactly what you think of her attitude with a resounding huh. Gods, no, not you too. That's the final bleeding straw, that's it. I was hoping you of all people would understand. I mean, it ain't adventuring if you don't take a few risks, right? Alright, maybe I am a bit out of my depth here. I'll be more careful, I promise. Okay, so let's teleport straight back to Revenor's Toll. Yeah, Mithrie is famous, even on YouTube, hahaha. So, Mithrie, you have my thanks. That lass I sent you to instruct trudged back into town looking properly chastised. I thought a lesson from you might pierce obstinate skull of hers. Nothing I said seemed to work. Truth be told, she seemed more inclined to listen to the rustling of my beard than anything which came out my mouth. But now that you have demonstrated the skills she yet lacks, it will not be long before her addle-pated peers hear the tale. They will soon realize that one does not become a hero in a day. It requires dedication and perseverance, and learning from each task you undertake. There are no shortcuts, eh, Mithrie? Okay, so I'm going to take Piety. I'm assuming it's the most valuable. So let's talk to him again. You're picking up the Sledge. So the quest says, Southbourne is concerned for the Scion's receptionist. Gods, would you look at all those people? Seems they're carting in adventurers by the wagon load, and more than a few are eager to rap on the Scion's door. I wonder if this constant flow of aspiring heroes is what has Tataru looking so perturbed, I guess. Okay, might be she could use a friendly ear, huh? Okay, let's go find Tataru. Yeah, she's in the Rising Sands. Oh look, it's Mr. Happy. So, hello Mithrie. What might I... Oh, Southbourne 4, I could use a friend, did he? What a sweet man, though I did not think my fretting was so obvious. Well, I suppose there's no sense in hiding it now. 'Tis time to reveal my little secret. It quite suits me, don't you think? But 'tis no simply for show. I've been learning the mining trade. Why, you might ask? Therein lies the source of my dour demeanour. Ever since we relocated to the Rising Stones, the signs of the Seventh Dawn have stepped out from behind the curtain, so to speak. Our victories over the Empire have granted us a certain degree of fame, and many bidding adventurers have travelled from afar with the intention of joining our ranks. And while I welcome each new member that takes up our cause, we have too little coin. As I'm sure you are aware, we are a strictly neutral organisation, and ensuring that neutrality means limiting the funds we accept from outside sources. The Scions do receive various means of support from the three major nations, and the Leveral twins are quite generous with their families' coffers, yet this modest income cannot keep pace with our day-to-day expenses. There are also suddenly donated materials, of course. Those are delivered to the Adventurers Guild and swiftly allocated to the expansion of Revenant's Toll. While I cheerfully leave the toppling of primals to you, 'tis my duty to balance the books and fight the demons of debt. On my horror as receptionist, I will raise the necessary coin with my own 2 hands. I even paid for this sturdy mining attire out of my own pocket. Which makes it doubly aggravating that my custom-made sledgehammer has yet to arrive. I scampered and saved especially for that tool. Mithrie, if you would help me with see the Scions survive this fiscal disaster, then I would ask you travel to the Blacksmith Guild in Limsa Laminza and demand they hand over my commission at once. Oh, and regarding your travel expenses, I'll have to check our available funds. Once you have my sledgehammer, pray leave it with Phil Hammond. I shall be out digging up riches the best I can with the equipment I have. Crystal clusters, here I come. Now, the good thing for me is that that Limsa Laminza is actually my free location, and you can get a free teleport enabled by having a one-time password enabled on your account. And you can have a one-time password enabled on your account for free if you download the app for iPhone or Android, or you can just buy a unit for like, I don't know, €6 or something. So the Blacksmith Guild, I'll go to the Aft Castle. Okay, here we go. So, well now lass, what brings you back to me forge? Got some new masterpiece or something to show me? You hear about a commission, something weren't delivered? Now that's passing strange. Unless there's an ale-induced dream, I'm fairly certain Mistress Tataru's tool was shipped off days ago. I'm not like to forget the forging of a sledge, what's needed, flowers engraved on the head. Could be the porter met with misfortune on the road. If the blokes we employ are in town, then you'd find them south of the Octant, and one of them empty lanterns. The limbs and things are so difficult to read. Seeing as we've heard naught one way or the other though, I'd be of mind to cast some doubt on the whole operation. What an upsetting business. I might need a pint or two to put it all behind me. Okay, so we need to go to Lower Laminza to get there. Yeah, I suppose I could just teleport from here for Naught Gil, might as well. Okay, almost there. Okay. So, oh, charming. A delivery from the Smithies to Mordona. How the bloody hell should I know? I just haul the crates. Hang on a moment, you said Mordona. Aye, me mate was meant to see a shipment up to Revenant's Toll a while back, but took ill just afore he was due to leave. Not to worry, I said, I'll take it there, me very own, whatever. Well, we got bleeding busy, didn't we? And I figured someone'd come looking if their precious package didn't arrive any road. And here you are. The crate you want is back there someplace, marked and all. You can grab it your own self. Okay, so now we need to find the package. Aha. Cool. So let's now go to Revenant's Toll again. So here is Philharmon. So greetings, Mithrie. Tataru made mention of a missing delivery. Were you able to coax her some commission from the blacksmith guild? Let's hand it over. There's a box for Tataru. The box is so heavy you doubt tiny little Tataru would be able to carry it around herself. Wonderful. I shall keep it here with me until Tataru returns from her mining expedition. She is not one to approach matters by half, is she? The Rising Stones couldn't ask for a more able administrator. Still, I am somewhat worried for her well-being. I realize Tataru means to mine and naught more. But even the outskirts of Revenant's Toll are not free of prowling dangers. Would you mind tracking down our industrious Lalafell and see that she has not come to harm? As far as I'm aware, Tataru intended to start her digging in the hills near Tangle. You may have to call out to attract her attention. So Tataru is to be found mining northeast of the Tangle. First, make your way to the destination marker. With the chat mode in Say, use the keyboard or software keyboard to enter the phrase that contains the name Tataru to attract the receptionist's attention. Cool. So they want us to use Say mode, okay? Okay, just need to go here, it's not far. So usually the story modes of each patch leave you with a cliffhanger, something to make you look forward to the next patch. So I wonder what the cliffhanger for 2.4 is going to be. Okay, so with the chat mode in Say, use your keyboard or software keyboard to enter the phrase that contains the name Tataru to attract the receptionist's attention. There you go. Breaking rock and splitting stone, I'll raise a fortune on my own. Delving deep for precious ore, I'll take a rest and dig some more. Whoops. Toss aside the pebbles, toss aside the dirt, toss aside the scions who shirk their work. Phew, I think I'll call it a day. I'll make such better progress once Mithrie brings me back my sledgehammer. Yes, I might even make enough money to indulge a little. Bloodcurrant tarts for the morning tea every single day. Was someone calling my name? Mithrie to the rescue. Grade 12 above. I thought I'd be eating my last current tart for a moment there. Thank you ever so much. I believe 'tis past time I return to the Rising Stones. Okay, let's just teleport back. Okay. Tatara says, Mithrie, I must thank you again. I received my commission from Philhammon. The floral engraving is absolutely perfect. After nearly becoming dinner for a marble, though, I'm not so eager to head back out into the field. In any case, no more solo mining tricks for me. I shall be sure to drag along one or two handy adventurer types to serve as bodyguards. I suppose I'll have to pay them, though. Well, no matter, that simply means I'll need to dig twice as hard. Okay. So, that will be it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, goodbye from Mithrie, and see you in the next episode for part 4 of the 2.3 story, which should probably be the last part. So, thank you. Bye-bye.